Today I'll be reacting to the latest Madam Web trailer. Madam Web was a hero that lightened up my childhood. Watching the animated Spider-Man when I was younger, Madam Web at one point was one of the most important characters that you had to know. If I'm gonna be honest, all those memories have almost erased from my mind, so I'm glad Sony and Marvel have teamed up and are gonna make a new Madam Web film. And apparently it's gonna be linked to the Spider-Verse. Let's get into it.
What do you want from me? Why do you care for me? Why do you know?
Let's go, Madam Web. Walking to a 4-star diner. Okay, do you think this is in the 2010s, or do you think this is in the 1990s? Because I don't live in America, but that looks like a diner from Stranger Things, and Stranger Things like in the 1970s.
Come on, get your stuff. Let's
Yo,
go.
is that Spider-Man? Yo, Spider-Man's got some skills. Yo, Spider-Man doesn't do that. Spider-Man doesn't do that to a young lady. Spider-Man's respectful. Jeez.
Let's try that again.
Let's try that again. There's a lot of multiverse of stuff going on in Marvel. Does this woman possess the same powers that Loki has? Where she can go back and try it again, like Loki can try it again, like He Who Remains can try it again? That's what I'm asking myself. Colombia.
A week ago, I spent my life racing against time.
Okay.
I'm gonna help you out today, okay?
So she was a normal person a week ago. So we can identify that time moves correctly inside Madam Web reality. She must have a normal life before she had superpowers.
Trying to save people who were running out of it. Until one moment
Oh.
changed everything.
What happened there?
Welcome back to the land of the living.
I don't understand what's happening. I've been having visions. I knew he was gonna die. I think I'm seeing the future.
If you had the power to possess to see the future, then wouldn't that just be the worst power? Because then you know that you can control anything that you want to, and you can let anything happen if you wanted to. You can literally walk up to the president and tell them this is what's going to happen. You can walk up to Rishi Sunak and say this is what's going to happen, and they'll believe you because they know that this person's a gem to purchase in the future. But it's the most mind-blowing superpower. It almost seems like it would just be a curse to have it. Because what if you don't do something that you're supposed to do? With great power comes great responsibility. Come on, watch this Spider-Man.
New York City's a whole new level of crazy these days.
That's true.
What do you want from me?
So what's going on here?
New York City's a whole new level of crazy these days.
This is like Final Destination. Final Destination, that's what I was thinking of.
This is an emergency. Get off the train.
That man's
Get off
trying
the
to
train,
kill
guys.
you.
What?
Who are you? What is going on? I can see the future. Oh, what the hell? She didn't see that coming? That's not how it works.
I'm not gonna lie, the jokes, I don't think Madam Web would be a bad movie, because that would just be ignorant for me to say before the movie even comes out. But what I will say is, those are the type of jokes that you'd listen to from like Good Luck Charlie in Disney Channel days. If this is where it's going, and this is how most of the movies are going, then would it be enjoyable?
I've seen that man before.
So who is he?
Ezekiel Sims. He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
Wait, I recognize you. You live in my building.
You're the paramedic. Yeah, you almost ran me over.
You don't think this is weird? How we're all connected?
Even like those type of lines there, it's like, I'm not sure. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want to be a negative person. I'm a positive guy. But Sony, aren't they the same guys that made Morbius? Is it Morbius? The guy, the vampire lad? I'm not sure.
It's honestly like the least weird thing that's happened all day.
What do you want from me?
I have no idea what those girls are coming.
Why don't you want from me?
I think he can see into the future.
What are you want from me?
He's trying to change what happens. Julia, get down!
Why aren't you scared?
So what powers has she got?
Your future was almost so different.
Where do we go?
If you want to live, You have to trust me.
Get ready. Now!
You're showing off.
Maybe a little.
I'm gonna be honest, but that must be the most useless power that you can have. Cause shouldn't you just be able to walk through any situation and just get by life at ease without having to struggle if you can see into the future that well? And it looks like she doesn't have any scratches on her. There's no makeup going anywhere and mascara's not going down her face. She looks totally unscratched, unscathed. So then what's the stakes at play here? I'm not sure. Sony, any answers? I'm not sure if Sony will be watching this video. If this video blows up, then they will, but... Well, that's trailer reaction done. Let's go into a breakdown by this guy called 3C Films. He does great Marvel breakdowns or movies in general. We're going to go straight into that and tell me what did I just watch?
Oh, it's an interesting day to be a Spider-Man fan. We just got revealed the first trailer for the Sony
Yes, to be fair, this year we've had Madam Web. This year we've had the Spider-Man game. We've had Across the Spider-Verse. This year has been a good year for Spider-Man, let's be honest. Without having Peter Parker be the star of the show as well.
Spider-Man spin-off film, Madam Web. And we know exactly how it goes whenever these trailers are revealed. There's always going to be one or two Spider-Man little Easter egg references in this trailer that'll hook us up and that makes...
And let's be honest, that does look like Spider-Man. This is Ezekiel Skims. I've not watched Across the Spider-Verse. I'm sorry. Was he inside Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse? Was he inside Spider-Man's PS4? Let me know.
Make us maybe think, is there a chance of seeing Toby? Is there a chance of seeing Andrew? Is Tom Holland going to pop up? Any of them, please. But surprisingly, this was probably the first Spider-Man spin-off trailer that didn't bait us with a possible Spider-Man appearance in the future. And instead, we got some spider ladies. So even though I'm away from the studio, currently in Mexico visiting family, I am still going to give you guys a trailer. Cool shirt is how this connects to the Sony spin-off world. But I really want to hear from you guys as well, because the internet, I don't even want to say is pretty divided. I think 70% of fans I've been seeing online think this trailer was garbage. It looks dumb, cheesy, don't want to watch it. And then there's a couple of dumb ones like me going, you know what? Doesn't look...
If I'm gonna be honest, I'm leaning more into this guy, because I don't want to... Before the movie even starts, you can't just say, oh, this movie's terrible, this movie's this. The trailer can give a good indication of what a movie can become. We saw it with Avengers Infinity War, we saw it with Endgame. The trailers were top notch, and pretty much all the trailers up to those movies, Ragnarok trailer, you're looking at the Loki trailers, all these trailers, they kind of foreshadowed what the show is going to become because they were good trailers. So I can understand those people that are seeing it as a bad trailer, they might not even want to step in the film. But hey, Spider-Man still makes the money. Spider-Man will still come out.
In Spider-Man costumes. That's when I was like, all right, I'll check it out. But okay, yes, getting the basics out of the way, this is connected to the Sony Spider-Man spin-off world. It is taking place in the early 2000s. I feel like the trailer didn't really make that clear unless you were really looking at stuff in the background. But this movie
I noticed that. So you noticed that I noticed that, right? I said 1970s or 1980s or early 2000s. I did say early 2000.
In place in New York around like 2000 to 2005. So this will kind of put us well before, you know, Venom starts lurking around the streets, Morbius starts going around, and who knows what Craven is doing right now. But we're going to be following Dakota Johnson as Cassandra Web, the first Madam Web, before she ends up in her wheelchair and starts receiving her clairvoyant powers. Although it's not exactly like what she could do in the comics, she can still see a bit into the future as long as it's relating to Spider-Man characters. And this trailer does point out that connection with some spider-web imagery. I thought that was kind of nice of them. Some of the characters we have going on here is Sydney Sweeney. She'll be playing the character of Julia Carpenter, the second Madam Web, but also Spider-Woman, who does don the black and white suit in this movie. Now, we're going to talk about this scene here, but all the spider ladies in here get to have their costumes somewhere in the film. The other person we get is Celeste O'Connor, who will be playing Maddie Franklin, who in her comic book appearance also has the spider legs to her back, and she's going to be getting...
These are all different Spider-Women, all one universe. Quite good, but usually this thing's a multiversal thing where there's a Spider-Man there, there's a Spider-Woman there, there's a Spider-Dog there, a Spider-Pig there. It's quite rare for us to see a lot of people having the same spider power in one world.
In the movie, Isabella Merced will be playing Anya Corazon, who in the comics is sometimes just known as Araña, which means spider in Spanish. See, came from Mexico just to learn that for you. I already knew that, guys. But she also dons a similar black, white / silver costume that she does get here. Heck, Sony's trying to even get as comic faithful as possible because her character is known to have this like spider bot gadget she tosses around, and at one point in the trailer, she does toss that bot. But it looks like what will be happening here is once Madame Web starts gaining her clairvoyant powers and seeing people around her die, she kind of makes it her mission to protect these 3 ladies from future harm from Ezekiel Sims, who will be our villain of the film in this crazy black and red Spider-Man-like costume. I can't tell if I like this suit or I hate it. I do kind of dig the red.
Let's be honest, that suit is cool. I would wear that on a Halloween party. There's nothing wrong with that suit. That suit is up there with 299 suit and the black Spider-Man suit. That suit looks hard. You can't say you hate it. 3C Films, you can't say you hate it.
Webbing on the black, but in some angles it looks a little goofy and kind of CW-ish, and that's a lot of the complaints I'm seeing about this trailer, is that it gives off CW vibes, a little bit low budget. But this is kind of where the trailer hooked me in. Once Ezekiel pops in his spider costume and starts taking these girls down one by one, ending off with a knife to the stomach on Madame Web, and then introducing the time loop, I was like, yo, this might be trash, but it's gonna be trash I'm gonna probably enjoy watching. This kind of looks already way more fun to me than Morbius did. It appears that every time Madame Web dies in trying to protect the girls, she gets to go back to the beginning of the event and start over. I think that adds an interesting dynamic into the movie I wasn't expecting and is gonna make a lot of it more fun. We had heard that this movie was gonna be more of a ripoff of the Terminator plot, because that's originally what we heard was gonna be happening in here, is that Ezekiel was trying to look for Peter Parker's parents, which we do know Adam Scott is supposed to be playing Ben Parker, and we get a shot of him in this trailer. And Emma Roberts is supposed to be playing Mary Parker, who we don't get in the trailer, but on the social media account for Madame Web, they did reveal this featurette kind of letting you know a little bit about the character, and we do get to see Emma Roberts is back during what I believe is a
How can you tell that's Emma Roberts back? Some people are just crazy with like their visuals, or maybe it's creepy, I'm not sure, but how can you tell from someone's back who that is?
shower, because you can see a lot of blue balloons and hint to her being pregnant with a little baby Peter Parker. I'm thinking the movie is going to treat the Peter Parker reveal kind of like a twist thing by the end of the movie, where she believes she's protecting all the spider people from the future of Ezekiel, and then at the end she starts to realize, oh wait, there's one more. Baby Peter Parker. And I guess I kind of like that there. For the majority of the movie, we'll be protecting the women, and then Peter Parker will come towards the end, I'm assuming, to tease something for the Sony universe, letting you know that little baby Peter Parker is out there somewhere, so that when you flash forward to Venom's time, we should have the variant Spider-Man Peter Parker somewhere walking around 17, 16 years old, depending when in the early 2000s this movie takes place. But going back to Ezekiel Simmons here, in the comics, he never really had this black and red costume that they give him, but they do give him what he usually shows up dressed as in the comics, which is this suit.
You could, when someone is wearing barefoot, I remember the time I played football with somebody and the person is barefoot. You just knew this person is not someone you mess with. When someone's walking barefoot in New York, as dirty as New York is, you just know that they do not care. They do not care if it's their last day. They just want what they want to get, whether that's going to Starbucks or whether that's chasing 4 girls in a train.
Bare feet out. Ezekiel has sometimes towed the line from being a villain as Spider-Man to then helping out Spider-Man. Essentially, he was just someone that got his Spider-Man-like powers through a ritual, used them to earn money in the future, and after receiving these powers, he was also informed of Spider-Man totems and other Spider-Man-related people that had higher power than him who could best him, and that's where they're trying to introduce that this character can also see into the future, because we do get 2 versions of Ezekiel Simmons in here, a younger version and an older version with white hair, and I feel like the scenes in the trailer where they're showing all the women in their Spider-Man costumes fighting off an old Ezekiel Simmons is his future and fate as a villain, is that one day he will be defeated by these 3 spider people, probably part of the Spider Society, and he's just wanting to secure his future and not be taken down by them, so he thinks, oh, I'll just go back in time and take them down then. But also looking at him, if you zoom in right here, wrong zoom, he's also using tech and gadgets, so a lot of his wealth will also attribute tribute to the things he'll be using to fight off with these girls. I do also want to give my hats off to Sony for a couple of scenes in here where they're showing newspapers. Anytime a newspaper is visible in a Spider-Man spin-off trailer, there is always some BS Spider-Man reference on it. But not this time. I zoomed in, I cleared up, I enhanced that image, and nothing. No Spider-Man
But that's the Daily Bugle, right?
reference. They're not trying to bait us here. Overall, look, I know this movie's not going to be great. It's going to be trash. I'm mainly just excited for people in Spider-Man costumes, the time loop gimmick, the early 2000s look that I kind of am fond of. This is going to be the perfect example of a guilty pleasure for me. As long as it can keep me entertained throughout it and Ezekiel can continue feeling like this serial killer spy.
I don't think it's time to say this would be good, this would be bad. I think we need to go and watch it, see how it makes us feel, and then see how we can improve on that. It's been a bit negative inside the film world. There's been a negative inside the cinema world before the movie's even released. Once the title's out, people are already criticizing it, saying that it's because of women, saying that it's because of guys, saying that it's to this, it's to that. Watch the trailer, say our comments, leave it, watch the movie, pick out the positives, and then after we picked out all the positives, then we can say a couple of negatives. Because these actors, they're trying so hard. They're working for 12 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours a day. And then and I can't imagine what they're feeling like when it comes to the movie day. And they hear, like the Marvels are here, that no one showed up to the cinema. That must be devastating. Especially for the younger actors. That must be devastating. And the directors as well. But thanks for watching. Madam Web, we'll see if it's a good movie. But yeah, thanks for watching. Comment if you like the video. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video if you want to see more of me. And I'll see you next one.